Hello and welcome to today's episode of English Made Simple. I am so glad you are here, because what we are going to learn today is one of the most practical and powerful skills you can use in English, the art of introducing yourself. Every time you meet someone new, every time you walk into a classroom or a meeting, or even a neighbor's house, you are given the opportunity to present yourself. And if you know how to do this with clarity and confidence, you will instantly create a positive impression, open the door to conversation, and start building a real connection. Think for a moment about how many times in life you are asked to talk about yourself. Someone asks, "What's your name?" Or, "What do you do?" Or, "Where are you from?" And sometimes, when we are nervous or caught off guard, we just say something short, or we mumble, or we feel uncomfortable. But when we prepare and practice, we can turn this into a moment of connection. A good self-introduction is not just about giving information, it is about sharing a little bit of who you are. In this lesson, we will learn how to introduce ourselves naturally and confidently. I will teach you the vocabulary and key phrases you need. We will explore several different situations, from casual conversations with strangers to job interviews and professional networking. And I will give you examples you can repeat and practice until they feel natural. By the end of this episode, you will have a toolbox full of sentences and ideas that you can use immediately in your everyday life. Let us begin with the most basic building blocks of a self-introduction. These are the phrases you will use again and again. The first one is very simple. My name is... This is the easiest way to say your name clearly. You can also say I'm... followed by your name. Both are correct and natural. The second phrase is I'm from. This is how you say your country, your city, or even your neighborhood. Then we have I work as, which you use when you want to say your job or profession. If you are a student, you can say I study and mention your course or area of interest. Another very common phrase is in my free time, I like, and you can add one or two hobbies to make your introduction more personal. And finally, it is always polite to close with, "It's nice to meet you," or simply, "Nice to meet you." Now that we have these basic phrases, let us explore how to use them in real life. Imagine this first scenario. You are sitting in a coffee shop, waiting for your drink. Someone next to you smiles, and you decide to start a friendly conversation. This is a very casual situation, so you want to keep your introduction simple and friendly. You might say something like this. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Mexico City. I love coming to this cafe on weekends. The coffee is amazing here. This introduction is short, clear, and it gives the other person a small detail they can respond to, which keeps the conversation going. Let us look at this example carefully. You started with a greeting, then said your name, then where you are from, and finally you shared a little piece of information about your life, in this case, that you enjoy visiting this cafe. This last part is important because it invites the other person to respond. They might say, "Yes, I love this cafe too," or "I usually come here during the week." And from there, a conversation begins. Another way you could introduce yourself casually is by mentioning your hobbies. For example, you could say, "Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm from Sao Paulo. In my free time, I play guitar and watch football. What about you?" Notice how we ended with a question. This is a powerful way to invite the other person to talk about themselves. When you end your introduction with, "What about you?" or "How about you?" you show that you are interested in the other person, and this makes the interaction more natural and friendly. In casual situations, you do not need to share too much information. A few short sentences are enough. The key is to speak clearly, smile, and sound open. Even if your grammar is not perfect, what matters most is your willingness to connect. People will appreciate your effort and your positive attitude. In the next part of our lesson, we will look at slightly more formal situations, such as introducing yourself on the first day of school or university. But before we move on, think of how you would introduce yourself in a casual setting. Say your name, where you are from, and one thing you like to do. Try to make it sound natural, as if you are talking to a friend. The more you practice this, the easier it will feel when the real moment comes. Now let us move into a more structured environment, such as the first day at school or university. This is a common situation where introductions are expected and sometimes even required by a teacher. Imagine you walk into a classroom full of students you have never seen before. The teacher smiles, welcomes everyone, and then says, "Let's go around the room and introduce ourselves." For some people, this can feel intimidating, but with practice it becomes very simple. In this situation, you want to share a little more information than in a casual cafe conversation. Begin with your name, where you are from, and what you are studying or planning to study. Then add a hobby or something that helps your classmates remember you. For example, you could say, "Good morning, everyone. My name is Isabella, and I'm from Madrid, Spain. I'm studying computer engineering because I love solving technical problems. In my free time, I enjoy playing chess and painting. I'm excited to be here and looking forward to learning with all of you this semester." Notice how this introduction follows a clear structure: name, origin, study area, hobby, and a short closing sentence expressing enthusiasm. This last part is especially powerful in a group setting. When you say that you are happy to be there, you send a positive message to the teacher and your classmates. They will see you as friendly and approachable, which makes it easier to form study groups, ask questions, and build new friendships. Another thing to keep in mind is your tone of voice. Speak slowly and clearly, so that everyone understands you. Even if you are nervous, take a deep breath before you start speaking. Making eye contact with a few people around the room can also help you feel more connected to the group. Now, let us look at a more professional situation: a job interview. This is perhaps one of the most important moments where you need to talk about yourself. The interviewer will almost always begin with a variation of the question, "Tell me about yourself." This is your chance to present your background, your skills, and your motivation for applying to this job. A professional introduction in this context should follow a simple formula: talk about your past, then your present, then your future. Begin with your professional background, mentioning your education and key experience. Then explain what you are doing right now, your current job or role. And finally, connect this with why you are interested in the new position. For example, you might say, "Thank you for the opportunity to interview today. My name is Daniel, and I am a mechanical engineer with 5 years of experience in the automotive industry. I started my career working on production lines, where I learned the importance of quality control and process improvement. Today, I specialize in plastic injection simulations, using software like Mold-Flow to optimize manufacturing processes and reduce defects. I am passionate about finding solutions to complex problems and working collaboratively with cross-functional teams. I am very interested in joining your company because I admire your commitment to innovation and sustainability, and I believe my skills can contribute to your ongoing projects." This introduction is professional, but not too long. It highlights your experience, your skills, and your motivation, which are exactly what interviewers are listening for. If you have more time, you can also include a short story or example of a project you worked on, but always keep your sentences clear and focused. From job interviews, we move to networking events, conferences, or professional meetups. Here, the goal is slightly different. You are not necessarily applying for a job, but you want to connect with other professionals in your field. Your introduction should be short and professional, leaving space for the other person to speak and for a conversation to develop. For example, you could say, "Hello, I'm Laura. I work in supply chain management at an automotive company. My main focus is improving logistics efficiency and reducing lead times. How about you? What do you work on?" By ending with a question, you invite the other person to share about their own work, which creates a natural dialogue. Networking is about building relationships, not just exchanging business cards, so showing genuine interest in the other person is essential. Now, let us turn to a situation many of us have become familiar with in recent years: the online meeting. Whether it is a virtual class, a team call, or a professional presentation, There are moments when you are asked to introduce yourself through a microphone and camera. Here, clarity is even more important because sometimes the audio connection may not be perfect, and the people on the other side may be in a different country or time zone. A good online introduction might sound like this. Hello everyone, my name is Kevin. I'm joining you from Sao Paulo, Brazil. I work as a project manager in the IT department, and I will be coordinating part of this initiative. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you. This introduction is short, clear, and it helps the other participants know who you are and why you are present in the meeting. Remember to speak a little slower than usual, and to look into the camera when possible, as this creates a sense of connection even through the screen. Another very common real-life situation is meeting new neighbors or moving to a new community. Here, the tone is friendly but not overly formal. You want to be warm and approachable so that future interactions are comfortable. For example, you might say, "Hi, I'm Anna. I just moved into the house next door last week. It's great to meet you. I'm still getting to know the neighborhood, but it seems like a wonderful place to live." This type of introduction opens the door for your neighbor to tell you about the area, recommend local shops, or simply share a smile. Building good relationships with neighbors can make your daily life more pleasant and secure. Traveling abroad also gives you many opportunities to introduce yourself. Whether you are meeting other travelers at a hostel, talking to locals, or joining a group tour, a friendly introduction can turn strangers into travel companions. You might say, "Hi, I'm John from Canada. I'm traveling around Europe for 3 weeks. I love trying local food and exploring historical places. Do you have any recommendations for things to do around here?" This last question is especially powerful because it invites conversation and helps you get useful tips from people who know the area better than you do. Finally, let us look at your first day at a new job. This moment can feel very exciting, but also a little stressful. A good self-introduction can help you feel part of the team right away. You might say, "Hi everyone, I'm Peter. I just joined the company as a quality engineer. My background is in automotive manufacturing, and I'm passionate about continuous improvement. I'm very happy to join this team, and I look forward to contributing to our projects." This shows enthusiasm and professionalism, and your colleagues will likely respond positively, making it easier for you to integrate into the team culture. Beyond these 8 key scenarios, there are other situations where self-introductions are helpful. For example, when joining a new online community, you might write a short message like, "Hi everyone, I'm Julia from Buenos Aires. I'm here to learn more about digital marketing and to share ideas. I'm excited to be part of this group." Or when giving a presentation, you might start by saying, "Good morning everyone. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Michael, and I have been working in this field for over 10 years. Today, I will share with you some insights about the latest market trends." Even when answering the phone in a professional context, a clear self-introduction is important. You can simply say, "Hello, this is Sarah speaking. How can I help you?" Which sounds polite and professional. All of these examples have one thing in common. They help people know who you are, why you are present, and what you are interested in. And this is the foundation of good communication. The final step is practice. I want you to take a moment to think about your own life. Where are you from? What do you do? What do you enjoy in your free time? Now try to put these pieces together in 2 or 3 sentences. Say them out loud, even if you are alone in the room. The more you hear yourself speak, the more natural it will become,